Good day, everyone. I am Adenike Ayeburo-Jusera from the Department of Business Administration, and I'll be teaching us on the topic System Development Life Cycle. But before I start, I would like to define what System Development Life Cycle is. System Development Life Cycle is a process that has 7 sequential stages before a system can be implemented and maintained. So the first stage is the planning stage. The second stage is the analysis stage. The third stage is the design stage. The fourth stage is the development stage. The fifth stage is the testing stage. The sixth stage is the implementation stage. And the seventh stage is the maintenance stage. So now let's define what these stages are. First of all, the planning stage is, the goal of the planning stage is to know the importance of the system to the business, the need for the system to have, the need for the organization to have a system. The second stage is the analysis stage. The analysis stage talks about the benefits that the system will give to the organization. Under the analysis stage, we have what we call the requirement analysis. The requirement analysis states the stakeholders in the organization will talk about the features that they want the particular system to have. The third stage is the design stage. At this stage, the team makes decision about the system's architecture, that is how the system should look like. The fourth stage is the development stage. This is where the development of the software takes place. This phase might require teams of developers to work for months, each constructing one portion of the system. So in this particular stage, this is where coding takes place. The fifth stage, the software has been fully developed and it is time to test it in order for us to be able to detect bugs. So the system needs to undergo a more rigorous testing to ensure that the whole system works smoothly together. The sixth stage is the implementation stage. When it's time for the system to go live, that is to be made known to the public, there will be need for some documentations and trainings to understand clearly how the new system works and how it differs from the old system, if there was one. So organizations have several choices about how to implement new systems. The first choice is the parallel implementation. So this is when the organization launches the new system while the old system is still running. Just like saying they are launching their systems simultaneously. We still have an old system, but we are now launching a new one. The second choice can be the phased implementation. This is when the organization launches the modules in phases rather than launching it all at once. The third choice is direct implementation. This is when the organization switches off the old system it has, if it had one, and launches all the modules on the new one. The seventh stage is the maintenance stage. Developers must practice any activity required to handle issues reported by end users. For example now, bug fixing and change requests, and because of the aging of information system, that is the software development. Let's take for instance now, Safari, Firefox and other browsers, they are usually being upgraded to new versions. To maintain all the bugs, fixes and change requirements, organizations should put in place a change control process. I would like to welcome my colleague to take it over from here.
Good day, my name is Ezimoha Stephanie and I'm going to be speaking on the software development strategies. Under this, we have 3 main methods, which are the waterfall method, the iterative method, and the agile method, which is divided into 2. So I'm going to start with the waterfall method. Here, the software development life cycle occurs as a sequence. This means each group completes a task, then after, another group takes over till the end of the project. A major problem here is that it takes a long time, it takes a high cost, and it is not easily adaptable to requirement change. These problems led to the development of other methods. For example, the iterative methods. This involves the breaking down of software development of a large application into smaller parts. It can easily adapt to requirement changes, unlike the waterfall method. In order to provide a software users can be more satisfied with, software developers created a prototype which users can easily use and get feedback to bring the application to life. It is called the rapid application development. In the third method, we have the agile method, which is divided into 2. We're going to speak on that later. Here, tasks occur simultaneously, meaning they occur at the same time, unlike the waterfall project where tasks occur sequentially. We have the agile method, which is divided into two: the Scrum and the extreme programming method. Here, tasks are completed simultaneously, unlike the waterfall method where tasks are completed in a sequential manner. The development team members have a strong sense of closeness and they are not scattered around the globe like the waterfall method. Under the Scrum, we have the product owner and we also have the Scrum Master, who is the head of the program. You can also call him the product manager. The second type of agile method is the extreme programming, known as the XP. They try their best to create high quality software and they meet changing consumers' needs. I would also like to introduce my project partner. Her name is Chidima. She would explain further on this topic.
Hi guys, my name is Chidima and I'll be picking up from where my colleague stopped. So my colleague mentioned the software development approaches and I'll be comparing these approaches based on the type of project, because software development depends heavily on type of project. For example, the iterative approach will work well on projects which requirements are launched in discrete phases. Also, clarity of requirements are also important in choosing projects. Waterfall approach will work well on projects which requirements are clear, stable, and well defined. As business needs changes rapidly, lengthy projects based on waterfall approach will fail and agile approach should be adopted. Does the waterfall approach still work? I believe this is the question intending software developers tend to ask. Does the waterfall approach still work? Due to the introduction of new approaches like the agile approach and the iterative approach, a lot of predictions have been made about the doom of waterfall approach. But surveys have shown that the oldest is still being widely used, despite its disappointing track record. It is persistent because business managers are comfortable with its logical and formal structure. Thank you for listening. I'll be leaving the remaining phase of this topic to my colleague Joke.
Hello everyone, I'm Oduba Oluwaseunwade Joke. So I'll be speaking on the build versus buy strategy, which is the first step in deciding whether to build a custom software or to buy a commercially available SaaS product. And what is SaaS? Software as a service, which is an information system that is owned, hosted and managed by a vendor. I would like to introduce my colleague who will be speaking on the remaining part of this topic. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lasisi Olatofunmi from the Department of Business Administration and I'll be taking the human elements in system development and procurement. So yeah, the human elements affect system development and procurement partly because people from different parts of the organization work together in cross-functional teams and communication issues may arise. So the cross-functional teams approach is about getting people from different fields to work with the product all together, especially in the planning, analysis and implementation phases. People who don't work together often, they will have to come together to join the cross-functional teams and communication problems might arise, like I said earlier. IT staff members might not quite understand the terms the marketing team members use to communicate with one another. So during the planning and analysis phases, the cross-functional team members will try to describe how process work and what the requirements for a new system should be. Next one is the role of the senior management. They play a very vital role in system development and procurement. They can inspire the employee to come together and ensure the resources that the project team needs are available. They also prepare the organization for a change. The chief information officer, and the senior management in the business unit must maintain close communication to implement cloud services securely and wisely. The last one is working with consultants. This means engaging consulting services to help configure, customize, and launch the software. The consultants may be employees of the system vendor, or they might work for a separate company with expertise in that software product and a history of successful implementation in other organizations. So we have advantages and we have disadvantages. One of the advantages is that it gives the organization access to experts who know the software well. The disadvantage is that the organization's own employees will be less involved in many of the development and implementation tasks because they will miss opportunities to learn the ins and outs of the software. We've come to the end of the class. Thank you for your time. Really hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.